What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, the Blu-ray Bandit, back once again with another pawn shop haul video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for your best shot at a free digital code. Let's see what I can find. All right, I hit 3 pawn shops. Let's see what I found. First pawn shop was a La Familia. I paid $10.64 for 4 Blu-rays. That brings them out to $2.66 each. First up is In the Heart of the Sea, starring Chris Hemsworth, a movie directed by Ron Howard, a director that I'm kind of low-key collecting all of their filmography. Why Ron Howard? Who knows? He definitely has a couple of great movies and some not so much, that's for sure. I have seen this movie before. It was a good time the one time I saw it, although I don't remember the particulars of it, which might not bode well for a rewatch. Regardless, this is one I needed for my Ron Howard collection, and now I've got it. Taking Lives, starring Angelina Jolie and Ethan Hawke. The extended cut. I have never seen this movie, but I do remember the film when they were marketing it back in the early aughts, I think it was. Not quite sure what it's about, but I do enjoy Angelina Jolie and Ethan Hawke. This is from the director of Eagle Eye, and supposedly the extended version is more suspenseful. So I'm guessing it's some kind of suspense thriller. This is interesting. There's a gag reel in the special features. I can't imagine what a gag reel would look like for a movie that is toned the way I'm assuming Taking Lives is, but I'm looking forward to a first-time watch. If I enjoy it, I'll keep it. If not, I'll resell it. And here we have the V for Vendetta, Watchmen Director's Cut, and Constantine triple feature. 3 movies I love, and also I already own this triple pack, so I will not be keeping this. I basically picked it up because it's in pristine condition. It's worth about $5 to $6 on eBay. And lately I've been buying these collection titles and just kind of putting them in the corner in anticipation of 1,000 subscribers. I literally have a stack of about 10 collection titles sitting in the corner waiting to get to that 1,000. And in looking at my statistics, I know for a fact that a good 70-something% of you watch my videos on a regular basis, but have not yet clicked the subscribe button. Why? Why have you not clicked subscribe? Just do it already. You're watching video after video. Why not? Anyway, this one's not going into the collection. It's not going for resale. It's going directly in the 1,000 subscriber special giveaway stack. Bloodfest. I know little to nothing about this movie, but I do know that it scanned at about $7 or $8. So I know it's made by Rooster Teeth, which I believe is a popular YouTube channel. I've never watched it on a regular basis, just seen little highlight clips here and there. But I know they're OG YouTube. Evidently, they made a horror movie. And for some reason, it's kept its value better than most. So I'm going to resell this copy in order to pay for some of the other titles that I plan on keeping or giving away. It's interesting that some of these more niche creators have gotten into the movie game. And because they have such rabid fan bases, their titles have been able to hold value a little better than even the most Hollywood of titles. Should I watch this before I resell it? Let me know in the comments if you've seen it. The chances are good I won't unless somebody makes a strong case, and this one will end up for resale. Next pawn shop was another La Familia. Again, I paid $10.65 for 4 Blu-rays, making the per title price $2.66 each. Premonition, starring Sandra Bullock, a movie I have never seen, and that's a rarity with Sandra Bullock, I would say. It didn't scan very high on eBay, roughly $3, but I picked it up anyway just to give it a watch, and if I don't like it, I'll probably get my money back on it eventually. When I do finally watch this, it will definitely be a completely blind watch. I mean, by the title and some of the marketing, I'm assuming it's some kind of suspense thriller. I don't know. I really know very little about this movie, but the Blu-ray came out in 2007, which was definitely in the early days of Blu-ray. It's still not worth very much, but I gave it a swing at $2.66. Why not? Speaking of early Blu-rays, this one is dated 2006. That's the year that Blu-ray became a thing. And this is Fantastic Four. At least the second iteration. The very first was pretty much a no-budget affair. Not sure if that version of Fantastic Four ever got a Blu-ray. I sincerely doubt it. I'm not sure it even got an official release, period, ever. I grabbed this one because I am slowly collecting every comic book movie I can find. Not sure if that collection will ever be complete. There are definitely a lot of them, both superhero and non, but I'm slowly pecking away at them here and there. I already owned the sequel to this movie, the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, and now I've got the original. This is Megamind with slipcover. This is easily one of my favorite DreamWorks animation movies. It's so funny. Will Ferrell is hilarious in this as the villain of the movie, and Brad Pitt is hilarious as the hero. And I love how this movie kind of swapped those two positions. This case has definitely seen better days, that's for sure. I'm going to have to swap out the case. Pretty damaged here on the corners, and wow, has a huge chip right there. But I knew that when I bought it. At one point, I bought a big box of 25 replacement cases for like $8. And so I've just kind of slowly been pecking through those and not letting bad cases stop me from making purchases. I don't have too many animated kids movies on my shelf. I've especially avoided the Disney titles because those are all pretty much available on Disney Plus. But these DreamWorks movies are still scattered across streaming services, and really not all of them are available at the click of a button. So I don't mind grabbing a couple of my favorite animated kids titles just to have at my fingertips whenever I want to give them a watch. Next, we have a Nicolas Cage movie titled Joe, also starring Ty Sheridan in beautiful slipcover. This is a movie I have seen before. It's a good one, especially if you like subdued Nicolas Cage. This is definitely not your Vampire's Kiss Nicolas Cage. This is him putting in a solid dramatic performance in a movie that is not unhinged. I think Nicolas Cage is a pretty interesting actor in that he's in a bunch of genre movies that are just simply wacky affair. And also he will do little indie movies with heart. And this, with digital code. Yeah. And this is an example of an indie movie with heart that he is absolutely great in. This one scanned at $10 on eBay. I'm going to add it to the collection for now, give it a rewatch, and then decide whether I'm going to resell it. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And finally, the last pawn shop I visited, and yet another La Familia. I paid $21.30 for 8 Blu-ray titles, bringing the per title average to $2.66 each. Booksmart, a super funny coming-of-age comedy directed by Olivia Wilde, and one that I've been looking for. I've definitely been on the hunt for this title and was excited to find it at this La Familia pawn shop. I find this movie hilarious. Maybe the only fault it has is in the weird stop-motion Barbie animation in the middle. I probably could have done without that, but I find these two actors funny. I find the movie entertaining, and I'm excited to add it to the collection. Luckily, it also scanned at about $7, so at a per-title average of $2.66 each, without having to pay shipping. Finding this in the wild was quite a deal. Next, we have Judas and the Black Messiah. This is a fairly recent movie. This just came out in 2020, and I was surprised to see it at the pawn shop. I had to grab it. It scans for about $8 on eBay. I've seen it already, but I'm looking forward to a rewatch. It's a little historical biopic about one of the leaders of the Black Panthers, and features an excellent performance by Daniel Kaluuya that I believe he was nominated for an Academy Award for. It's super fun to find recent movies at the pawn shop and get them at a great price. Speaking of recent movies, here is Christopher Nolan's Tenet, which is about a year old. It's crazy to think that about a year ago, Tenet was released in movie theaters mid-pandemic and didn't do so well. I think part of that was just the pandemicness that was going on at the time, but also the movie is not my favorite. And I know some people enjoy it. They enjoy kind of the way the movie messes with you and the timeline and all of those fun things. But it's just, I don't know. I definitely need to give it a rewatch, but I will not be doing it with this copy. I actually have this movie already on 4K, so I picked it up for resale purposes. It doesn't scan particularly high, roughly $6, but it's easily going to pay for itself and another title at minimum. Next, we have Backdraft, another Ron Howard movie. This one starring Kurt Russell, Robert De Niro, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Donald Sutherland. It's a great movie. I've been on the hunt for this for quite a while and was excited to see it on the shelf. I grabbed it right away, didn't really even care what it's worth, which is about $5 on eBay. This is a title that I eventually want to find out in the wild on 4K and make that upgrade. But in the meantime, I'm just going to have to live with the Blu-ray. Good looking discs, even if the artwork is a little boring. But yeah, adding this one to the Ron Howard collection and adding it to the shelf. The Marksman, another Liam Neeson movie that I've never heard of before. I saw this title on the shelf and I was like, what is this? How did this movie come out? And I just never heard about it. I'm not sure whether that's a commentary on just how many movies Liam Neeson releases that all kind of feel and sound the same. But sometimes he can make one that works for me, like The Gray a few years ago. I absolutely love that movie. It's because of that I'm always kind of on the hunt for Liam Neeson gems. This one scanned at about $8, and so I grabbed it. And I'm going to check it out at some point. If I enjoy it, I'll keep it in the collection. And if not, I'll resell it to help pay for some of the other titles in this haul that I'd rather keep. Butch, Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the Western classic from the late 60s. This Blu-ray was released in 2007, so this is another one of those very early Blu-ray release titles. I know they've had subsequent releases of this movie since then. I'm pretty sure there's even a Criterion out there, possibly. I don't know. But I enjoy this Western. It's one of the good ones. Not my favorite. The ending, I don't know. It feels very late 60s, early 70s. Let's just say that. But yeah, you can't beat Paul Newman and Robert Redford at the time. I did not have this in the collection, so this one's going to the shelf. The Paper Tigers. I really love this movie. I recently saw it on streaming and was really surprised to see it on the pawn shop shelf because I believe it came out like just last year. Yeah, it's got a 2020 copyright date. I didn't even know this movie got a physical release, but evidently it did, and now I own it. If you know nothing about the Paper Tigers, it's basically a martial arts movie where these three guys, when they're younger, they're great martial artists. Then fast forward to like 20 years later, they're in their 40s. They haven't practiced martial arts for a while. A couple of them are way out of shape, and this one has kind of ditched martial arts for MMA style fighting. Meanwhile, through various hijinks, they kind of get involved with this crime syndicate and end up having to fight them. It's kind of like that movie Wild Hogs, but instead of bikers, it's martial artists. I don't know. It's way better than Wild Hogs. I laughed throughout this movie, and if you get a chance to check it out, either on physical media or streaming, I definitely recommend it. This one's scanned at $10. I'm going to add it to my collection for now. But it's nice to know that if I ever decide to sell it, it's worth something. And finally, we've got Undercover Punch and Gun. No idea what this title is, but it's actually the same release studio, Well Go USA, that released Paper Tigers. These two were sitting next to each other on the shelf, oddly enough. Yeah, don't know anything about this, but I'm kind of sold. I mean, I'm definitely going to give it one watch if it's from the same release studio as Paper Tigers. It looks interesting. It might not be, but we'll see. This is another title that scanned at about $10 on eBay. So if I dislike it, I can easily resell it, get my money back, as well as use the proceeds to pay for some of the other titles in this haul that I'd rather keep. There we go. 16 titles, total of $42.60, with an average per title price of $2.66 and an estimated value of $104. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for your best shot at a free digital code. In case you haven't noticed, you've fallen right into my trap. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, bye.